Hi, everyone. Welcome to your Daily Five and happy Valentine's Day to everyone. I'm Leslie Jouflas of Trading Live Online. And today we're going to be looking at the indexes and a couple semiconductor charts. The last time that I was on your Daily Five was on January 24th. And at that time, I did the segment on the indexes and felt that they were going to move higher, and they have moved higher. So let's update those charts today. And if you didn't watch that segment, you should be able to find it. And I also had a range breakout for Adobe. So I'll leave it to you to look that one up. But it did break out to the upside from that range and it's been moving up from there. Okay, so let's get to some charts. We'll take a look first. This is the YM. So this is the Dow Jones Industrials. This is the futures chart for the mini contract on the Dow Jones. And I like to use it. It just shows me some nice swings on it. I can see things clearly. I've got some lines drawn here and there on this chart. So we're going to start with this. So the Dow had been leading. Now it's sort of in the middle of a range here with, we can expect either a move to the upside from here or the downside. But these areas here, I'm expecting support to come in if we get a bit of a downside. Right here where this pink dashed line is coming across, that's really close to the 786. You can see this high right here. So the Dow Mini is going to have to get through this resistance. And then I'm thinking right around this 35,000, let's just call it 35,900 level right here, a retest. This is a 0.886 retracement. This is what I call the last chance fib retracement. And I would expect some resistance to come in at this point if the Dow makes it through this resistance. So it has on the weekly chart, we're coming in and we've just started this week, so we don't know where this bar is going to close. Today we had an up move, but there were some inside days on this chart, and so again, getting above first these highs and then above this high, and this is the area I'm going to be looking for some more resistance. The Nasdaq has been leading in this last leg to the upside, but this pattern that I have drawn in here, this is A, B, the retracement is B to C, and this leg is C to D. So this is just showing us that these two lengths are equal in size. It's an AB equals CD pattern. You can read all about this in the book Trade What You See, How to Profit from Pattern Recognition. But right now, the NASDAQ has found some resistance right around this completion point. Now, this leg does tend to get extensions on it at the 1.27, which is just simply taking the length of the AB leg, and you take that length number and you multiply it by 1.27, and you add it to the low of that. And this is a ratio that's pretty common that we can expect some possible resistance to come into. And if we look back here, we can see that this was an area where the NASDAQ had a rally up, made kind of a little head and shoulders pattern and drop. So it's going to be retesting a previous resistance area there too. It has had a really nice run to the upside. And I think if it gets another little high here, then I think we might see a divergence form on the RSI. It doesn't necessarily mean that the up moves are completely over, but the indexes might be ready for a little bit more of a pause. So I'm expecting if the NASDAQ is able to rally some more, some resistance coming in this area, and then watching for some potential retracements back down. Now, I'm using a chart of the SPY, the ETF, on a daily chart. So there's a couple of things on this chart I want to point out. First of all, I've been watching this trend line for a long time. It finally got a break above the trend line, had a little bit of a test here, and has been moving up from that area. So I just showed you that ABCD cell swing on the NASDAQ. Well, this one on the SPY comes in a bit higher. However, right here, we have a second ABCD cell right here. You can see that the SPY traded almost to that 127 extension. So it's sort of the same thing with the Nasdaq. If this moves up to another high, we might see the price come close to the 1618 extension. That's simply taking the length of this leg, multiplying it by 1.618 and adding it to this low. Or it may get up around this area. You can see back here this gap area. Let me move this over right here. You can see this previous gap area, these previous highs around that trend line. So I would expect some resistance to be coming into those areas. Again, I'm not forecasting that the market is completely going to fall out of bed, but it might be ready for a little bit more of a pause. So I wanted to scale down also to a 60-minute chart on the S&P and show you a little bit more of a close-up view of the price action over the last couple of months and several weeks. So I showed you what the ABCD sell pattern looks like. Well, this is an ABCD buy pattern. And notice how it came right here, right into this support. So the market had filled out a couple of ranges, and this one here, you can see these highs here, highs here. Back here, there was this big gap area. So this price level just above 4,100 had been testing as resistance, and now the market is above it. So that, for me, this low right here, because of all that testing, this is an area that I think on a first test down, that's about 4070-ish, should hold as a support area on a test. Now, if that breaks, then we'll be looking for some deeper retracements. But right now, this ABCD pattern, the market's been rallying off of that. So we want to see that continue up and maybe complete that larger ABCD pattern. Okay, let's look at a couple of the semiconductors now. Applied materials. So here we go. This is on a daily chart, and you can see this big range on applied materials. There was a breakout to the upside. However, it was not a sustainable rally, and the market came back down and price broke this support level and found support here. Now, I believe I had this on a chart a couple of your daily fives ago, but this is like an inverse head and shoulder pattern, and I had drawn out where the measured move is. Doesn't mean it's going to go straight up. It might get some, bumps and lumps along the way. And of course, any pattern can fail. So right here, where the right shoulder is, the market really should hold support and not break that on any test that might come back in here. But up here is where the measured move comes in very close to that 786 retracement. You can see this previous range where the price really tested around that price level. I would expect that, in that area to be resistance as well. So we might give this a little bit more time to see if it can move up further, and you can just look at all these resistance areas. It has to kind of make its way up through to make it to that measured move, if it can make it. But right now, some of the semiconductors are looking strong. So even with some pullbacks, they might give a buying opportunity. This would be a retest down here of this neckline. And again, this is the support area to hold. So this is a chart of the SOC semiconductor index, and you can see how closely AMAT is following this. This looks a little bit smoother on this breakout than what AMAT had, but this is a little ABCD buy pattern right here. It can come down a little bit further, but you wouldn't want to see it come below this this level here. So again, I think for some of these semiconductors that are showing some strength and some bullish patterns, that there's some more upside coming with those. Applied materials, this is on a daily chart, and you can see here this upper trend line sloping downward sloping trend line on the upper part of the pattern. The center line here, a lot of price testing around that, and then the lower here. So it did form an ABCD cell, but a couple of things worth noting is that right here there is a gap. You have a gap here, and then there's another gap to the upside right here, right where that pattern completion is. And a lot of times that's telling you that there's underlying strength in the market. So there was just one move, one close above this trend line. But if AMD is able to come back and start having strong closes above this trend line, I think we're going to see a stronger rally. Let's do a little fib retracement on here. And I would say in a strong rally, and if the other semis are going, possibly if it gets through this 382 back up around the 0.50, there's a little gap area right here, and possibly the 618. But again, it could take some time to do that. Okay, one more. I want to take a look at Intel as well. Well, Intel has had some problems, as a lot of stocks have over the last, certainly 2021 into early 2023. But look at how long this range formed, 2017, and then a break of it in 2022. So this is a 5-year range with a pretty large break to the downside. Intel is not as strong as the rest of the indexes, but it looks like it can get some more rally, possibly to the upside. So this area right here, I'm going to move this down a little bit. This would be a big resistance area, and right here, resistance here as well. But I think for short-term play, if Intel can get above these highs right here, then maybe a bounce back up into those areas. If we do a measured move to the downside on Intel, then it actually might have a little bit more downside to it as well. So let's do that so we can kind of cover both directions. So that would bring it back down to around this 886, and you can see where that could be into the support level. However, again, I think short term, Intel can do some rally to the upside. If in the future it's able to break back above this resistance area, then I think Intel may be out of the woods. Okay, so that's it for me today. Thanks for watching, everybody, and feel free to leave some comments. I do try and check back and answer any questions and see if there's something that I can help you with. So thanks for watching. Have a great Valentine's Day, and I will see you on the next Your Daily 5.
Hey guys, Dave Keller here with StockCharts.com. Thanks so much for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, and we hope you did, hit the like button right below. Also, we have so much new content every day. Consider subscribing to the channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the video or right below. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Have a fantastic day.